are in the phase where we actually already install the motherboard. It looks something like that. The processor inside, Core i7 X series, the 7820X, and the motherboard with the chipset X299, the SSD 970 Pro, NVMe M2, that one with the radiator, then two Crosshair DDR4 two time the 16 gigabyte, 32 gigabyte overall, and on the frequency 2666. Actually, the same working range that actually need the processor. Then after we make some initial cable management just to put everything on the left hand side for the motherboard. We will see if that is okay for this case. And on the back we actually put all the necessary mask. This one for the ports, etc. We have the VIA ready as connectors 3.0 and 3.1, the Type C, then all the audio stuff, then the BIOS, the flashback, and the BIOS flashback. If you can see it from over there, then the clear CMOS button, BIOS flashback, and the normal USB for keyboard and mouse. It was talking about the power supply, the overdimensioned, the Vega 1600 G2. That will be installed on the left hand side. If you turn around, then right hand side. But anyway, we'll try to put all the cables on the left hand side, and I put that power supply inside, and we'll try to see how best works in that case. Anyway, the tower itself have one microfilter that you can regularly wash, because the power supply will inflate the air inside, make a positive pressure in the case, but nevertheless you will stop the dust with this microfilter. It's really nice and easy to have this feature, because a lot of dust are going to build up during the time. Now, first things first, we go back to the actual something like that, to the actual cooler. Yeah, something like that. That one we said last time that we want to install in that manner that actually deflate and take the air from the radiator. We will check also if the radiator is okay. Sometimes happens something like that the radiator have been hit from stuff around, but just try to, if that happened to you, just try to put it like in order fashion, or completely avoid to do something about it. You can, if you don't know what you are doing, then you can only damage the radiator. That part is RGB. We go on the processor side. On the, when we install that matter, it will fit actually perfectly on that side. Let me see if VR guys now are in the session. Mode video. Yes. They will be, because we should process the video. Anyway, I will hit the recording. Hi VR guys, we are now on the second part to install the Crosshair, the 115i Pro with RGB on this side, inflating the radiator, checking the radiator from our own, see if all the slots are at least initially clean and without any dust. Okay, and while the cases are actually inflating the air inside, we will try not to compromise the direction. We could optionally turn the way around those fans, that they actually extrapolate the heat out, but I want that remain that flow from here to inside to build a positive pressure and to allow to radiator and those fans to actually make a negative pressure and extrapolate the dust outside and put it on the graphic card and the motherboard and all way around till the end. Why I'm doing that? Because those radiators are very low in heating, and they are really stable and allow you to use actually the extra power that you have from the fans to cool down your graphic card. My graphic card is actually one blower edition, the GeForce 1080 Ti. That one will continue to suck that air that is in the case, and actually helping you to extrapolate out, to blow it out, to create that positive pressure comes really quick inside and blow it away on the back side. Now I will just continue also with the YouTube session. You already you already have that information, but just for summary, that blower edition is actually, I decided to use that to actually suck the heat from the case that initially made the positive pressure, and to extrapolate the heat out that will create a negative pressure, and we will have one fluent flow. Now, we will turn back to our case here, our hydro support, water cooling, the hydro series from Corsair, and actually start to screwing all the parts. Don't put any pressure before you actually install it, and use and follow the logic of the case. If that radiator will stay so in that position, that vertical position, that the cable of the fan remain on the right hand side, and so here on the left hand side. Now it will be nice to hear also your comments. I know that I'm doing those sessions without announcement, but it is how it is. I really don't have time to prepare all the videos and announce everything. I must do it on the go. Then after, when we are finished with this machine, we can proceed with POI4 video editing, POI4 videos. Then after, that machine will allow us to test also how it goes, how it's going on the gaming side. Actually, Ahmed asked me to make some benchmarks and build some community around the gaming. It's not a problem. We have our guy that are now that is now building some stuff for you guys, and he is also the master in Tekken. Tekken version 6 and 7 and so on. It's also one professional load testing, and then after the frame rate in each games, and which part are used on which time frames, in which time frames. Nevertheless, I will post the results and explain you all the results that we will have actually from that machine. And in the meantime, also build this second machine with i7 8700K, and respectively see the benefits from X series and the overclock normal i7. Now back to the build. Now you can put a little bit of pressure, because you know that everything is perfect. I will use the second fan on this side and pay attention to the cable. Something like that. Yeah. All those stuff are actually very interesting if you are in POI community, because from ground up you can learn a lot of stuff. We'll then after with those machines, we'll build the actual website where you can make your registrations. We appreciate also donations if you have any, and we'll start to work with each other remotely, exchange our knowledge, do it in really easy and friendly manner, to avoid any kind of stress or pressure from each other. Just share the knowledge, be kind, and everything will be fine. I will make some sessions also how to build one website, how to create one ASP.NET Core 2.1 website, and how to manage the GDRP, how to post it on your host or on the Azure platform. It will be actually funny to work with all of you, because I really expected that everybody brings something and that we actually build a nice and really happy community. Okay, that was for the VR guys. Yeah. Hi everybody. We are still building a little bit longer. Now we'll set that on the case. Then scratch. Do you see everything, guys? Yeah. Seems pretty easy, but it's not. So. Okay. Thank you, guys. No. Actually, perfectly. Right hand side, left hand side. Stick with the radiator on the front. Don't leave the radiator while you are installing to avoid damaging your motherboard. Yeah. Yes. I want to find the perfect screw for the radiator. I set a lot of them in line here on the table. And that is really important that all the tools that you are actually needing that are already pre-sorted, because it will be a mess then after to find something. Those are also okay. Then I'll try just those one more time. Yeah, that are actually okay. Let's those ones, but okay. Nevertheless, you will have some issues in such combination that the motherboards are not always the motherboards are not always prepared for such thing, and the position of it in the case itself. It could be that some case is already designed that you blow the wind upwards and doesn't allow such a combination. Then you must provide or have all possible kind of screws and dimensions to avoid such thing that is a main effect one no go. But we will find the right ones. That one are the best. There are also a standard screws that actually are are used for like a standard screws. Those ones that you have for sure in abundance from the cases. Okay. Sorry for that, a little bit of interruption. But nevertheless, in any case, don't lose the hand on your radiator, and try actually to avoid to stretch to put the pressure initially, because there are the, there are actually holes that are like designed uh, that are designed for multi-purpose hose. But anyway, test every detail and then after put the pressure. Now, I can already put some pressure because we are at the end. The port, it goes for sure, and now you can lose your radiator. Now it looks something like that. Sorry. A little bit, I need one a little bit stronger than that. I always put one that are a little bit like a holder, and I make pressure on it, because it goes on the vibrations from those fans and the fans outside on the other side, inside on the other side. Okay, yeah, we are ready to go. We are also ready and ready. Super. Now, yes, nice and easy. You can accumulate and put any number of screws that you need. Now, let's see how it looks like on this side. We'll set over here, and now the logical way is to put the processor directly on the right hand side. That has some implication with the graphic card, and now we'll see if that could be overcome in that way. Or it's better to completely turn over. It's not better because then you have a long cable over here, but those can easily go over the graphic card. Now the graphic card, the 1080 Ti Blower Edition, really massive card, and it has 3 DVI ports for 3 display ports. I'm sorry, 3 display ports and 1 HDMI port. HDMI for control purpose or multimedia, sound and video. Display ports, new technology, also for those monitors on this side, and those tools. You can build up to 3 monitors here. Fourth, avoid the combination because you want to stay at least in the same sync when you are performing some performance test or benchmarking the game, and also try to use one or same monitors at the same time. Now, one thing to say before the build is going any further. Here you see the M2, the Samsung SSD, the VNAND SSD 970 Pro NVMe and M.2. That one actually use also the PCI Express port, and though that port it's now not available. That port you just keep it. That's why I bought that motherboard that is SLI Plus. Have like all other boards have all of those ports, but those are reinforced and explicitly say to you where should you install your graphic cards in SLI mode. Now, put the graphic card inside. And I can just bring you a little bit further with the camera that you actually can see and say something about it. What your actually what your opinion about it, and please write a comment. Then after I will read it and make the proper adjustment. Now, something like that. The card behind, yes. Now. Two slots and two slots here. Yes. Now, the first and second. I will open also one more. There. There are two slots for it. The first one you can always leave it as it is. because it's go over the memory. And where is the SLI? You actually use the first SLI. Where is the SLI indication? You use the first graphic card. So you hear that click. That is perfect. And you see now that the graphic card also 1 centimeter or a quarter of an inch from the fence. It actually used two ports. Just to have some idea how it seems like. So over here. Sometimes you need to unscrew just a neighbor because they are randomly 1 millimeter left or right, and then to avoid actually that you are unable to install your graphic card. You can also, if you want more airflow, you can completely set off your opening, install the card, and then bring back the that part. Aesthetically is better, but also has a function because this is a broadband edition. It will try that positive pressure to interpolate in the fan and blow it out by itself. So we'll also install the second one. This is how it looks in this package. Take some metal to avoid statics. So on the radiator, on something that is metal, and then after pull the card out. Yes, it should be good. Okay. We'll open the slide is already open, and now just that you see that. So now it's a little bit heavier, of course, but I'll show it to you guys. Now, those fittings, do you see it? Yes. Are perfectly positioned with the clap that will be heard like a click, and also you will double check if that is the case, that actually the card is locked. One more check before the installation, that is open like so. You see that part that is open should be then after closed. So it's pretty heavy, but not that much heavy. Vega power supply. It's really heavy, but very good. And you hear that click, and now the position is really perfect. Now you could open also that screw. Do you see it? They are all like 1 millimeter of the position, and that actually bring you or consider you that actually something is wrong with the slot or something like that. Nevertheless, try to move it a little bit left and right out when you are not using those, but just to be sure that they are aligned with your PCI Express slot. Nevertheless, I always put the card first and make a preference for the card, and then after eventually screw back the other slots. Something that's perfect. But nevertheless, I want to see something more here. I'll try to do that one. This is how you put back the card. The first thing is to put the jumper down, and then after to pull the card. Always check that everything is clean on the bottom. It should be when you buy the new one, and then remove your unnecessary parts. Then you heard that click, and now the card is really stable. Now I'm putting back the protections that are used for PCI slots that I'm not using actually. Anyway, you can go wrong. It's always one way or the other, where is a perfect match and sit everything, or it's eventually not the case. But anyway, we are fast in the completion phase, where we actually will see the power management over there. The power management, how much power we actually need for that monster, and then after we'll wrap up the video with the summary and the summary checklist. I will now make some break. Take care, and please remember to subscribe, like, and share the video. Thank you. Bye. Ciao.